welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Well, since at least the first part of the Dragoon quest was in my original recording all over the place, I decided to do it again. For Heaven's Ward, sky's the limit. This way, I'm pleased to see that you're in control of the dragon within. Nonetheless, I must remind you to remain vigilant at all times. It takes but a moment of weakness for the eye to make you its thrall. Now, forgive me this abrupt change in subject, but we have urgent need of your lands. Some days ago, a horde of dragons began wreaking havoc within Guardian territory. An elite regiment of dragoons has been dispatched to deal with this threat. Alas, though they fight bravely, they are sorely outnumbered and are struggling to gain the upper hand. Indeed, but moments before you arrived, we received a request for reinforcement from a unit engaged in battle north and west of Whitebrim. A fellow dragoon and I will go to their aid, and we should be grateful for your presence. Pray, go on ahead. We shall follow anon. There. Wounded dragoons. That doesn't look good. Hello, dragon. I was too slow, but luckily I'm over leveled, so... I owe you my life. That beast would have torn me limb from limb. Our lances were not needed, it would seem. Such is the might of the Azure Dragoon. You have not pledged allegiance to Ishgard, yet you came to our aid nonetheless. For that, we are grateful. The deaths was avenged, our comrades may go to their rest in peace. My lady, I shall attend to the fallen. 'Tis an honor to see you again, my friend. What appears I'm not remembered? I suspect the armor is to blame. Permit me to introduce myself anew. I'm Ser Heustienne of the Order of Knights Dragoon, and I had the pleasure of assisting in your training. I actually do remember her, but she had a normal knight's armor back then. She was one of the people who tested us when we got the Dragoon armor for level 50. As we approached, Ser Alberic and I bore witness to the final moments of the battle. I could not help but notice that, though you've been instructed in our ways, there's something distinct about the manner in which you fought. I believe I know the reason why. As an adventurer, you've done battle with foes the realm over. Through these many encounters, your techniques have evolved to produce a style that sets you apart from we who fight dragons exclusively. Such insights you must possess. If I may speak frankly, I wish to train under you. Will you accept me as your pupil? You see, a fearsome dragon has been terrorizing Kurth as of late. Guayuli is its name, and I've been charged with leading a mission to slay it. Though I'm second in command in the Order, I'm not confident of my chances against the creature, such is its ferocity and cunning. If I'm to triumph over Guayuli, I must needs grow stronger, and I believe I can, under your tutelage. What say you? Will you consent to training me? As we teach, so too do we learn. This I know from experience. I wholeheartedly urge you to accept your stand as your pupil. You need not give me an answer right this moment. Think on it and let Ser Alberic know your decision. Till next we meet. Well, of course we agree, right? Because that's what the quest says we do. But first we need to go back to Ser Alberic at the other end of the map. Have you made your decision, man? Will you agree to teach us again? I will. I'm grateful. I swear I will not disappoint you. With your guidance I shall put an end to Guayoli's reign of terror. Now, I should elect nothing more than to begin my training at once, but duty calls. For the time being, I shall endeavor to emulate the deadly lancework I witnessed you employing earlier. Heustienne is among our very best in recent generations. If you are to train one of her caliber, you yourself must rise to new heights of mastery. Resume your own training and return hither when you are satisfied with your progress. At level 52 we continue. Greetings, Azure. You look very much a teacher today. That is well, for Heustienne is eager for her first lesson. Now, though you agreed to accept her as your pupil, I suspect that you are not without reservation. You worry whether you will be equal to the task. Well, worry not. I have every confidence that you will make a fine mentor. Were to offer you advice, however, it would be to have patience. Though Heustienne is a master of her art, it is all she's ever known. As such, it may prove a challenge for her to adapt, and like all of us, she's not without pride, and there will be times when tact is required. I must also mention that Heustienne is zealous to a fault. I worry that she will overexert herself in her pursuit of strength. But I am keeping you from your lesson. Heustienne left word that she would be in the Western Highlands, testing her lance against the dragon spawn. Seek her out, near the pike. Not bad, not bad. There. Too many. Look out! I owe you a debt of gratitude. Our lessons have not even begun, and already you see me on my knees. I had been trying to match what lancework of yours I'd seen, but without success. That was how the dragons managed to overwhelm me. Had I but fallen back on my tried and true trusted techniques, I would have made short work of their ilk. But what would I have learned then? Nay, what I know is no longer enough. The war exacts a heavy toll on all of us, but none more so than we Dragoons. If we are to survive, we must grow stronger. I must grow stronger. Desiree, will you demonstrate your techniques to me? I would study your movements up close. I suppose you have a right of it. There's no substitute for live foes. Come with me then. There's a suitable place west of a black iron bridge. I guess just copying someone else doesn't truly make you stronger, especially if you've only seen them once. This is a spot. Lie in wait long enough and dragons will surely appear. Horde Skirmisher Captain. The techniques you employ differ not from mine, yet you overcome the enemy with such ease. What is it that separates us so? What is it that you are doing that I'm not? Did I hear you rightly? You see no difference between our lance work, but in the course of considering this, you conceived a new technique. Battle Litany. Increases critical hit for ourselves and all party members by 10% for 20 seconds and 3-minute cooldown. Oops. That was a mouse stuttering. A way to draw out your combat strength. Such an approach had never occurred to me. Small wonder perhaps, for we Dragoons are taught to be relentless in offense. In order to bring down dragons, we strive to jump higher and strike harder. But in my single-minded pursuit of what I believe to be perfection, it would seem I ended up fighting only with my lance. So focused was I upon delivering that next blow, that I rendered myself blind to other possibilities. You have opened my eyes, Desiree. If I'm to transcend my limits, 'tis plain I must cast aside my preconceptions. But the hour grows late. I must needs return to the congregation. Would you care to accompany me? It may interest you to see how your fellow Dragoons live. That could be interesting indeed. Not that I expect to see much of it. Because this is a game. Now, who's this gentleman? Welcome to the home of the Dragoons. I had a mind to show you the premises, but my father has paid me a sudden visit. This is my father, Montaugin. Father, allow me to present you my mentor, the Azure Dragoon, Desiree. 'Tis an honor and a pleasure both to make your acquaintance. I hope you will forgive me for inconveniencing your plans, but what is a father to do? Dedicated to her duties as she is, my daughter scarcely comes home, and so I must go to her. Father, please, we have spoken about this. I but strive to be a dragoon worthy of a name, as you yourself were. All that I do to honor you. My child, you would honor me best by taking care of yourself. Well, I shan't overstay my welcome. Seeing you hale and hearty is enough. Till next time. He's so kind to me, even though I share not his blood. Like so many others, I was orphaned by the war. I would have died long ago, cold and alone, had he not found me and taken me in. All that I have, I owe to him. It was for no other reason than to honor my father that I followed in his footsteps and became a dragoon. But if I'm to live up to his legacy, if I'm to protect Ishgard as he once did, I must needs grow stronger. And I will, under your sage guidance. I look forward to our next lesson. It slipped my mind. Ser Alberic wished a word with you. Pray seek him out at your observatorium at your earliest convenience. Perhaps after you had a wander inside the congregation? Yeah, we can take a wander around, but there's not much to see here. So let's go to Ser Alberic. My thanks for coming, Desiree. 'Tis no urgent matter, but I was wondering about the Heustienne's progress. Tell me, how fares her training? She's a bit frustrated with slow progress. Ah, so you've met her father. In his day, Montaugin was a dragoon of no small renown. He served Ishgard with valor, until he took a grievous wound and was forced to hang up his lance. As Heustienne herself told you, she follows in her father's footsteps. From the first, she exhibited tremendous potential. In all ways, she was Heustienne's equal, and the rivalry they shared raised both of them higher. Alas, I chose Heustienne and not her. Since then, she has taken to training with her father, which borders on self-punishment. It is well to strive for greater heights, but a dragoon must never lose sight of his conviction. It's the only thing that shields us from the dragon's wiles. So I beg you, keep watch over Heustienne. By your shining example, see to it she never forgets what it means to be a Dragoon. Thank the fury you're here, but moments ago we received word that Graioli's horde is advancing on Ishgard. Even as we speak, Heustienne prepares to go and meet them in the field. Alas, with most of her dragoons absent on another mission, I fear she sorely wants her lances. I would have you lend her yours. Pray make haste to the congregation and join her. Bunch of dragoons. Desiree, you've come to aid us. This improves our chances tenfold. Allow me to thank you as well, Mistress Desiree. I am but a worried father, and it gives me heart to know that the Azure Dragoon shall fight beside my daughter. Though my training is far from over, the situation will brook no delay. We must head off Graioli and his horde before they reach a populated area. It shall be my honor to fight shoulder to shoulder with you. The experience alone will teach me much, of that I have no doubt. Promise me you will be careful, Heustienne. Take no unnecessary risks. Do you understand me? Remember, the dead cannot serve their nation, and what Ishgard needs above all are brave souls like you to protect her. Worry not, father. I swear I will return to you. See that you do, my child. Now, before you go, there is something I wish you to have. The Lance Peregrine. It is yours now. Why, this lance was bestowed upon your forebear by the Archbishop himself. I'm not a child of yours, yet you would entrust me with a family treasure? I will not betray your faith in me, father. With this lance I shall strike down Graioli and protect Ishgard. Heustienne, it's time. Been a while, my friend. I had the honor of overseeing your training when you were but a fledgling dragoon, and I shall be honored to fight beside you. Comrades, at last report, Graioli and his horde had gained the western highlands. We shall lie in wait for them at the pike, with me. Mistress Desiree, may I have a moment? Each time I see my daughter off on a mission, we dance the self-same dance. I tell her to be careful, and she promises to do so. But I know her all too well. Heustienne burns to distinguish herself in battle, that she might repay me and my lady wife a perceived debt. I fear that one day that desire will cloud her judgment, and she will not come home. And so I beg you, pray watch over my daughter. This doesn't look good. We were able to repay the first wave, but it cost us dearly. I'm afraid the rest is up to you and Heustienne. Desiree, already we suffered heavy losses, and this was but the first wave. They come. Brace yourself. For Ishgard! Stay sharp. That was but a taste. Yep. Hello, grant me strength. Strike down the runners first. Something big's coming. A wyvern. Wait, it's one of Guayoli's champions. Okay. Who's Mont? Oh, he comes to us. That looked like he was going to the abyss. That was the last of them. Yet Guayoli is nowhere to be seen. Were the reports mistaken? Such a price we have paid only for our quarry to elude us. There he is. So you finally show yourself. I guess that was what her father warned us about? What is she? Heustienne, no! By the Fury, this is a disaster. I know not how to say this, but Heustienne, as strong as she cannot have survived that. Here, I discovered this in the aftermath. It is a fragment of her armor. It must have broken off during the battle. Placed here to her father's hands. Knowing him, he will be at the congregation, awaiting his daughter's return. And you are all dead? Not just wounded? In there. Okay. Miss Desiree, what has happened? Where's my daughter? This scrap. A piece of her armor? But why bring it to me? No. No! I refuse to believe that Heustienne is gone. It is too early to know for certain. Tell me everything that happened. Everything. So, she leapt upon the dragon, piercing its hide, after which the creature carried her westwards. If none saw her fall, it means she may have managed to safely dismount. There's hope still. If Heustienne is out there, I shall not rest until I find her. Desiree, I trust I can rely upon your aid. Let us speak further at the observatorium. Why? Why can't we speak here? Why at that highly inconvenient place? Without further ado, let us consider a course of action. As Mortogan dares to hope, if Heustienne was not shaken off Goyoli's back, there is a chance she yet lives. She will have ridden the dragon until such time as she saw an opportunity to dismount. The question is, where? The worst possible outcome is that she has been taken deep into dragon-ruled lands, far away from her allies. While I pray that is not so, we must be prepared for anything. Heustienne is one of our best, and Ishka can ill afford to lose her. For the nation's sake, and that of her father, let us find her and bring her home. I will track Goyoli's movements in order to ascertain Heustienne's location. Like as not, the search will take us into the heart of enemy territory. Pray keep your lands armed owned, for we shall soon have need of it. And for that we get Blood of a Dragon. The dragon stirs within, resonating with the soul of a dragoon. Now, what Blood of a Dragon does for now is just it gives us a boost to our jump and spine shatter dive. And the other two abilities give us basically a fourth skill for after full thrust and chaos thrust, but we haven't learned those yet. And I think with that I end this episode, and next time we continue with our Dragoon here. I'm Mace, and don't get lost.